In the penultimate episode of Loki, we finally got some movement in the storyline. However, I feel we still have a lot of questions that are left unanswered. Despite us now knowing that the TVA is fake and is run by a bunch of androids, we still don't know who the puppet master is that's pulling the strings behind all of this. And as always, there will be spoilers in this clip. So if you have not seen episode 5 of Loki, proceed with caution. You have been warned. There will be spoilers. Towards the end of the episode, with both the help of classic Loki and our variant Loki, Sylvie was able to enchant the Alioth, which looked like it was protecting what might be our bad guy. And by the looks of it, we got a peek of some spooky looking castle that's in the middle of what looks like the quantum realm. So as I mentioned earlier, we still don't know who the puppet master is that's pulling the strings behind all these events that's going on right now. So will Sylvie and variant Loki be able to find who's behind all of this? Who are we going to find in this spooky looking castle? Now, after 5 episodes, I've been able to collect and gather information and little hints that I see here and there that I feel give us a possibility of who it might be. So bear with me here. I know I've mentioned a few names before, but now I feel like I have even more proof as to why I feel these people are a possibility of who could be the bad guy of our story. Okay, I know I keep saying, wouldn't it be cool if it was a superior Loki? Even those signs are kind of pointing that it might be the other guy. But then again, we all thought it was going to be Mephisto at the end of WandaVision, and then it turned out to be Agatha. So there's a good chance that it might be a superior Loki that's behind all of this. And here's why I think so. Throughout these episodes, we've been meeting different variants of Loki. And through these variants, we are catching a glimpse of what our current variant Loki is possibly capable of in terms of his powers. For example, with Sylvie, enchantment, with classic Loki, the ability to project these super awesome illusions. Now, after seeing what our variant Loki is possibly capable of through these other variants that we've seen through these other episodes, we see that he's eventually capable of both enchantment and projecting great illusions. If classic Loki is able to project the whole city of Asgard as a distraction for the Alioth, while Sylvie is attempting to not only enchant the Alioth, but also teaching our variant Loki how to enchant, what's to say that the superior variant Loki isn't capable of projecting something of the magnitude of the TVA and is capable of enchanting all these variants to work for him? I mean, wouldn't it be insane that if at the end of all of this, it was our boy Loki showing how much of a badass he is? Now, the next possibility comes off of Twitter. Once the episode is done, I'm immediately on my phone going to Twitter just to see what people are buzzing about, to see what they didn't like, to see what they did like from the episode, and to just, I love speculating. I love reading all the theories and guesses and all the little Easter eggs are finding. All the little Easter eggs people are finding. And so one of the ones that really caught my attention, and of course being a total like mark for Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, it just made me go, oh my gosh, this would be so cool. And then especially since I've been wanting the Fantastic Four so badly in the Marvel Universe, someone mentioned that the castle looked like it was in Latvia. And if you are not familiar with what Latvia is, it is the hometown of Doctor Doom. Now, at this point, I know, again, episode after episode, I probably look like a freaking clown, hoping that we'll get some sort of taste of the other franchises through this show, but a girl can keep dreaming, can't she? And then another one, which is it was a little bit boring to me, but I'll mention it anyway. It's worth mentioning, I think, is that it could possibly be a villain that's tied to Doctor Strange, therefore setting up the multiverse of madness. But for the majority of the rest of us, we're still riding that Kang hype train, and with the most recent episode and the latest, I guess, developments, if you want to call it that, in this episode, it's adding more fuel to that Kang fire. Kang's our new Mephisto, baby. We're gonna blame Kang for everything in this Loki series. By the way, there's a possibility that it could still be Mephisto. Don't give up hope, everybody. First new piece of evidence that is now adding more fuel to that campfire is the Alliath. In the books, if I recall correctly, the Alliath is an enemy of Kang. And for some reason, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he is guarding Kang. So that's another indicator that's setting people going crazy that, oh my god, Kang is coming, Kang is coming. And then there's Ravonna Renslayer, who is romantically linked to Kang in the comics and still public enemy number one for her atrocities against the Loki gang. I mean, with the most recent things that happened this episode, does she really not know what was going on with the TVA and the timekeepers? Or is she just becoming really that good at playing dumb? Part of me thinks that she kind of has an idea of who is behind all of this, or they are establishing the romantic link between her and whoever is involved, aka King. Because there's this scene where she's asking Miss Minutes to pull up the files from the beginning of the time, from the beginning of time with the timekeepers, because she mentions that there is someone out there that's being a threat to whoever's behind this, and she wants to do her best to protect this thing, person, entity, whatever it is, or King. And to me, it's coming off as, is she trying to protect this person because she cares? Or is she pretending that she cares because she wants to get to this person before Sylvie does? Now, I'm just going to add that despite how much Ravonna annoys me so much right now, she did have one of my favorite scenes in this episode with Hunter B-15. There's a scene where Hunter B-15 is being held in a cell. Ravonna tells her that she has been disloyal to the timekeepers. Hunter B-15 says, "How can I be disloyal to something that isn't real?" And Ravonna says that despite this, it doesn't change anything, and that the TVA needs stability, not truth. And so due to being enchanted, Ravonna makes the link that Hunter B-15 was able to somewhat see what was going on inside Sylvie's mind while she was being enchanted by Sylvie. So she asks Hunter B-15 to tell her what she saw. So Hunter B-15 was able to see what is driving Sylvie. She mentions that what drives her is the need for revenge and wanting to kill the timekeepers. And now that she knows that the timekeepers are not real, she wants to find out who is behind them. So at this point, Hunter B-15 is realizing that Ravonna is in the dark about who is behind the TVA, and says one of the most epic lines that I felt was just so bam, like mic drop. Hunter B-15 tells Ravonna that she'll never get to them before Sylvie does. While Ravonna wants it, Sylvie needs it, and that is what's gonna drive her. It's just like boom, bam. I was just like, damn, that was so like, loved it. Which with that line, that Sylvie needs it, to me, that was a very strong indicator that it's a possibility that it could be a superior Loki behind this versus Kang, even though it's probably going to be Kang, but Which to me, by Hunter B-15 saying that Sylvie needs it, to me, it feels like it's a very strong indication that it might possibly be the superior Loki that's behind this. I mean, why would she need to meet Kang? Why would she need to see Kang? I mean, other than like finding out what her Nexus event is, but I would feel the need for her to meet this version of herself is more of importance versus her needing to meet a Kang. Now that we have more information as of this last episode, even though we still don't know who is behind the creation of the TVA, definitely let me know what you think. Who is it? Who is it not it? Some are even saying that it's Miss Minutes, or some are even saying that it's Mobius. The possibilities are endless, especially with Marvel. So definitely let me know. I'm very eager and curious to hear what you have to say. And I'll see you here next week for the very last episode, episode 6. We are there, people. And quick little bit, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. Mwah.